Stop trying to find your manhood through your dick. I want you black men to imagine a world where I did this. Snap my fingers, Thanos, Reality Stone, and away goes your piss and your balls. Every last one of your black dicks goes away. Then what are you? Your testosterone levels stay, your muscular levels stay, everything else remains, but your dicks are all gone. Where are you? What kind of man are you? Far too many of us black men try to make our masculinity and manhood through our dicks. We spend an inordinate amount of time in our youth trying to fuck our way into manhood. That's why you got so many young guys who aren't even where they should be, thinking, I can fuck my way in, I can make her this. And where do you rank amongst other men? We're the only group of men who walk around with our thinking that makes us a man.
Wait, I missed part of it. So did he say that a lot of men use sex to be men? Was that the
They
point?
think that they use that as part of their manhood. Like, you don't have to do nothing else. I'm my way into manhood.
He said in the black community, that's the mindset of a lot of men, is thinking that they can F their way into manhood.
Yeah. I know the first time I got some, I felt different. I felt like I was a grown man. I ain't gonna lie. I was walking through it was like the first time I hit the blunt. The first time I hit the blunt.
What is unpat? We need unpat on the unpat on the mic tonight. What is
unpat? Go ahead and give her this link. Tell her to log on.
What y'all want her to do? She probably traveling the world right now.
Must
See,
be nice.
I got nice etiquette. When she here, I'm gonna share the mic unless she call in from the link. Then I'm gonna talk a lot.
We like unpat.
Well, I think it is an interesting thing that I do think that when women have sex, that makes them feel like a woman. Like that first time that you have sex as a woman, you just like, oh, you kind of like blossomed into a woman when you have sex.
No, who sung that song? Is a song? Oh my
God. That make me a woman. It's like Betty White, maybe. You said you'd be gentle with me, but I hope
that don't make it right. That don't make it the truth.
No,
I mean, we're not arguing the truth. We're just saying that sometimes, like on both sides, but I think that women do feel like, they kind of like grow up when, you have sex to some degree. When guys have sex, we just feel like we done something, like we accomplished something. Like we're just like, yeah, I'm the man now. Not necessarily that you achieve manhood, but that, like you just move differently after you done got some action. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it'd be like, hey, Marcus, smell my finger.
It was some struggle years, boy. They could wash their hand to prove they got some. Like, yeah, that you know what that is.
Hey, smell my finger.
If y'all smell it, ain't that stinking?
Nah,
and wouldn't it be fingering somebody? That's it. Wouldn't that be different? That's a different level of. I don't know.
Well, we talking about when you first start doing this stuff. So that the finger might have been the first thing you started doing. You know what I'm saying?
And that means it stunk if you smell.
No, it ain't had no odor.
I think that too. So I think what he is saying. Okay, so let's just say this. That's when you're a child. You're young, and you might be not a child. I hope you're an adult, but you're still young. The problem is, it's still people. That's their thing. They ain't trying to be successful. They ain't trying. It's like they put all their focus on just that energy goes into having SDX. And if they put, like we talk about this all the time, if they put that same energy into being successful, they probably we will be up.
So
I mean, I was just gonna say that and that's what boils down to what I always kind of say is that there's different levels, you know what I'm saying, to it all. It's different levels of guys, of women that view that in a certain type of way, as to where that's all that they own, that's all that they're about. And then is people on the other end of the spectrum. So it's finding who you click with that's on that same side.
What do y'all think about this theory that wherever you reach your sexual peak age, so say you're able to get the women you want at 16, all the women you want, what is your motivation to really keep going that hard? Do you think a lot of people get to that point and then be like, man, I'm good at this? Because I remember a lot of dudes that as soon as they start winning, wherever they start winning at, that's the level they stopped at. Like, unless you just had an extreme drive to do something else, it like,
That's
oh yeah,
why
I just want to
the real attractive people, they were young, they were real attractive, and they end up being not even being successful. They just end up being just, you look at them like, what happened to you?
I'm not sure I
That's what he
understand the
was
question.
talking about, is that if you place all your emphasis in your manhood and the amount of women that you can sleep with, then you cease to you minimize what manhood really is. Because like you said, when you reach your peak after you done had a bunch of sex, after you've had sex so many times with so many different women, is not different. It's nothing different. So if you put all your eggs in that area, then yeah, it makes sense that you won't really accomplish much of anything else until you set a new goal or set a new standard.
Would you think that like so like, you know how a lot of the men who did not have social lives in high school tend to fare out better than the men who did have social lives
Yeah, I do.
because of that?
No.
Yeah.
No?
The reason I would say yes is because, like how we talked about pretty girls, a lot of times pretty girls don't have to develop other skills because it comes very easy to them. They don't have to develop other skills because guys are just going to approach them. Guys are just going to give them things without them really having to give anything in return or develop communication skills or develop, all of these other skills that would make her a rounded person. And I think it's the same for guys. When you're an attractive guy or, like athletes or whatever, the type of guy that girls are going to be attracted to, you don't really have to develop a whole lot of skill set because the girls are going to come to you naturally. So
right. Yeah, and that's why I was saying in a lot of times most athletes, celebrities, they be lame as hell because they didn't have to go through that stage of developing themselves, you know what I'm saying, to have something that stands out aside from them, you know, being a jock or whatever.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my cable cord.
I was trying to figure out, was that me or not?
Yeah, that was me. You got me on echo. But so, but I agree. I think the mistaken answer, the way I would have answered it, I think that people who get it early on are less successful later on, with the exception of some athletes. And I say that because athletes do, through their gift, go to school and it's almost like they're in an environment and it kind of changes them a little bit. But without that, let's just say you weren't an athlete and you're just attractive for whatever reason, they just
that's all they have is the attraction.
That's all they got. That's all they got. If you're attractive and you got it going on, you that top. And we ain't got
1%.
You that it ain't even 1%. It's like a 0.005.
Yeah,
You gotta choose between one or the other, attractive or successful. You probably ain't gonna get both.
Yeah, I think that the idea that you were younger and winning, I do agree. Somebody said this in the chat that they do keep winning. I just think that sometimes what people accept from you is different depending on who you are. If you've always been attractive and you've been attractive your whole entire life, people just accept your attractiveness and they don't really care about some of the other qualities. So they can still, in essence, kind of still win with less versus, somebody that's a late bloomer where you had to develop skills, you had to be able to listen and talk, and, you got to have a certain thing about you that makes you unique. They end up winning a little differently in the future. They might not have as many wins as the more attractive person, but they've learned how to make some things work over time.